So there's a scoop I got for it. I went with a 5-inch. Figured a big truck, big scoop. I don't know. It's too big? I don't know. I like it. When it's all painted, I think it'll look a lot better. So we're gonna get busy putting the scoop on the hood, finish out the details of the hood, and then move on from there. Bye now. Good evening, everybody. We are getting ready to build the hood for the square body build. So there's my Amazon scoop I bought. It's a 5-incher. I figured, you know what? Go big or go home. 3 inches seemed too small. 5 inches maybe a little big, but you know what? Fuck it. All right? So what I'm gonna do is, so let me back up a little bit here. So you can buy these hoods with a scoop on them, okay? With like a 2.5-inch type scoop on them. The problem though is that it comes back to here, the stock hood, okay? So I had to cut this hood off to fit the front of the windshield and to fit the truck. So we had to cut the scoop off and everything else. I just didn't want to get into buying a $500 hood and cutting it up and then realizing I wasn't going to be able to use it. So that's why I already had this hood left over from a buddy of mine from a long time ago. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and just use it. So what I did was, as you can see here, I don't know if you can see it in the, let me see, I arched the back of it. I curved the back of it up almost 1 inch, okay, this curve back here. The wipers are basically hidden underneath the back of the hood now, which looks kind of cool to me, actually. So what we're going to do is, what a lot of people do is they take the hood or the scoop and they rivet it down, or they screw it down, or they just glue it down and then just go with it. What I do is I cut the hood back and then I slip the scoop under the edge of the hood. So you only have a little seam along here that could possibly crack out. So I'm going to trim this edge off a little bit here. I'm going to cut the hood out, and then I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to slip it underneath the skin, between the skin and the bracing. We obviously have this little knob that's going to be left up here, so I'm going to cut this off, and I'm going to fill that in with some, you know, just peak it real small with a piece of sheet metal. So get rid of that, cut it off right across here, and then I'll form it and make it look all pretty. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mark it. I'm going to get it set for tomorrow. Like I said, I wanted to get a little bit done tonight. And then tomorrow I'm going to cut the skin off, or at least the inner part of the skin, and then be able to, and I got, so underneath here on the bracing, it has that, the glue that, I don't know what they call it, little tabs of glue around on it, so it glues the bracing to the hood so it doesn't flutter. So I got to cut that at least enough to where I can get the scoop in there and then re-glue it later on. So I'm going to use panel adhesive on this to the bottom of the hood. And then I'm going to try to make a area for, because it'll be like a true Cowl induction hood. Air will come in the back of it. I'm going to try to make a duct to come from under the hood, or under the scoop, to the intake, which is about over here on the Duramax. So it'll have a fresh air intake. And then, anyway, that's my plan. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mark it. Oh, also, so since it can't go all the way back with this curve here, I'm going to, when I get the hood in here, I'm going to fiberglass a piece. It will follow this piece up to here, and then glass it all in underneath it after I get it in here. So that'll all flow at the end of the day. I wanted it to come back initially to here, but what would happen is that I have to cut this off up here and then bring this up to here, and it's not going to look right, I don't think. So I'm going to push it up here. I think it'll look better to there, and then just have this piece kind of follow up, kind of just work itself in. So that's the plan, Stan. It's going to be all white. I have a tendency to stripe everything I do with some sort of stripe or some sort of something, and so Super Sport or Z28 stripes. You know, I I'd have a hard time not doing it. So but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to leave it all white. So I don't think it would look right. I'm trying to go kind of stock with it, with the scheme goes, and with the gray and the inserts on the other side of the truck. I think it'll look better just leaving it all white instead of just putting gray stripes up here and gray on the side. So anyway, that's what I'm gonna do. So there's the top skin removed. The noise in the background is rain. It's coming down like cats and dogs, man. Anyhow, I want to get some done. See, I'm not going to sit in the house. I want to get this done as it rains non-stop. Anyway, I'm going to take all these spots up. I'm going to get this edge pulled up around the edge part here. Try to slip that scoop in there and see what happens. All right, there it is under the skin. So now I can go back, mark the scoop. Well, I gotta do this first. I gotta get this here done first. Then I'll mark the scoop, prep the edges. I use like 24 grit grind disc to really make it grip. If I get under the edge here, which is the hardest part, what I do is I take where's it at? And I take a grinder, turn the disc backwards and kind of get underneath the edge with a grinder. It's really important that you prep both surfaces before you bond anything together. So when I cut the skin off, you can see it kind of made it a little flimsy. So I need to brace the underneath a little bit before I glue this back on and make sure it keeps the shape. Anyway, so let's see what I got to deal with now. It's raining, man. It's got a river running through here. So there's the inside. So I'll take, well, after I get this prepped, I'll take, and this piece I cut out, I'll probably put it back in there again, glue it back down, but I want to cut a hole in it, like I said, and I want to make a fresh air inlet for the Duramax. So there's still some work to do yet. Man, it's just miserable out here. I'm gonna go ahead and go in for a couple hours till this rain quits, and then cause I can't even stand here. It's fucking rain. It's like 2 inches deep. Crazy. Anywho, so I'll see you back in a little bit. Bye now. All right, so the hole is all cut out. I went ahead and painted it black in here because I just can't get away from leaving it alone, even though it'll never rust out in my lifetime. I got the scoop over here. We got the edge prepped with 36 grit. I got the edge underneath the bottom here all prepped out with the same stuff. I cut a hole in here. We're going to put that paint can in there. There we go. Go in there like that, and then I cut it off, and then it's gonna go through the bottom of that piece. And I put it in there so that I can make a fresh air duct go over to the air inlet. So anyway, I'm gonna put the scoop on it. I'm gonna screw and glue it. I'm gonna put the scoop on it there. I'm gonna probably pop it in place so that it'll seal off the scoop from the heat from the bottom of the truck, more or less. So we got the Jethro here hanging out. Say hey, Jeff.
What's up, man?
And so I'm going to go ahead and get this done. We'll see where we get with there. Bye. All right, so we got the scoop in place. We got it all marked where it's going to be at. I'm going to go ahead and do the panel adhesive on it, so you guys can watch that for real quick. I'll speed it up so it's not real boring. And you can see how I do it. So here we go. You'll notice I have screwdrivers stuck in here so I can get all down inside there. The front one's going to be pretty easy. The side ones are going to be a pain in the ass. All right, so I put it in. It's about that much overlap inside here, almost an inch all the way across here. Squirt all down inside there. I'm gonna go ahead and put a tech screw in here to hold it in place while I do the sides. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push the side, pick the sides up, and then start squishing in the sides, and then take a spreader and try to shove it in as much as I can. If you get 3/8 of an inch or half an inch of adhesion, that's more than enough. But I have on the sides. I have a full inch for sure. So I'm gonna get as much as I can packed in there. More the merrier for me. All right, so she's all glued on. I screwed it down about every 2.5 inches or so, 2.5 inches with the tech screws, self-tappers. So I got a lot of glue in there. It came out real nice. I'm real happy with it. I'm going to install the cutout. So this is the piece I cut off of the hood to install that. I flattened out the end here where it has the hump here, so it'll go down into the scoop, and it's going to close off the scoop from the rest of the hood, so it'll get. I want to do the fresh air intake for it. That's why the hole's cut here. So I'm going to install that, and then I have a little bit of panel adhesive that was a scrape off leftover stuff, and I'm going to panel bond onto the cross braces. This piece to hold it in place, and put a couple tech screws in it probably. So here we go. I'll install that and come back right back to you. All right, so there's the bottom. we got that piece installed here, and you can see it fits up nice and tight with the bracing holding it in place. All those screws that came through. You can see you got ooze coming out, so I got plenty of penetration with that shit. So now the bottom looks basically stock except for the hole I have for the intake. Now I was going to use this gallon can for the air intake, but it's so flimsy. I'm kind of having second thoughts. I think I should use some regular, make a piece of sheet metal and form it instead of just using a can, kind of cop it out. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, here's the back. You can see it still lines up pretty good across the back here. So I can still put the, trim this back a little bit here. This here's out. No. Anyway, whatever. I need to put something across the back here to stiffen it up. I need to fill this area in here. And then probably work this stuff down so it looks clean. And then, so there's the hood. It's all basically getting there, man. It's coming out badass, I think. So, got that 5-inch scoop on there, so can't miss that bastard. So anyway, time to go to bed. It's 9 o'clock at night on Thursday night. It finally stopped raining, so I don't have the water coming through no more. Just like a little puddle coming through. So got to get to work on Ron's Corvette tomorrow. Got to put some cars together. Got to get back to work. Anyway, bye now. Also, if you have like a truck that they don't make scoops for, this is the way to do a scoop. If you want to put one on your, I don't know, Dodge swept side or something like that, you want to do something like this, this is the way to do it that I like it. This is the way you don't end up with, let me turn it around. This way you don't end up with a piece of the fiberglass on top of here and then have to float that whole thing out. And then with a whole bunch of areas going to crack and move and shrink. This is it right up here. This puts a scoop underneath the skin and it works a lot better that way. Hey gang, so it's been 24 hours and it's the adhesive is still a little tacky, kind of. So, but you don't want to wait too long to pull these screws out. Otherwise, they're not going to come out. So I'm going to go ahead and get them out now. Normally, I would have had to get them out in probably about 12 hours, but it's been pretty cold out here in the 40s, 50s, and rainy. So it hasn't really cured as fast as it normally would do. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get the screws out before they're permanently attached to the hood. And then I'm going to wait until this stuff is all completely hardened, and then I'm going to do a little body work on it, and then get the back corners taken care of over here. So yeah, I got to cut this off right here. I'm going to weld a patch in here from this piece to this piece on both sides, and then of course put the strengthening bar across the bottom right here. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I'm gonna pull the screws out and on to the next thing. Bye now. All right, out here working on the hood again. I'm welding in this quarter-inch bar across the back here. This is what it looks like before you weld it in. And got a spot around here. Mix it in nice and finished off. I gotta go in the bottom here, weld across here, clamp it down, bend as we go. We got the first coat of filler over the seam for the hood here, for the scoop, and moving along. So I figured I'd show you the rod I'm using to get this all stiffened up. But it gives a nice clean edge when you get done, you know. So anyway, moving on. Bye now. All right, I got the back of the edge of the hood done. Got nice and clean. Went across the back on the inside, all over here. So now that's nice and tight now. So I gotta finish off in here. Got a glass inside of here and get this glassed up, and then I gotta finish this spot here. I gotta fill this up here, and then a little more body work. More body work around here, and finish setting up some of the blue. There's some problems here and there. Clear was coming off it, so I gotta take that clear down. Anyhow, that's where we're at. I think it's looking pretty good. Time to go to bed. Get up tomorrow morning. Get busy again. Night night. All right, there's the hood on the truck. Bodywork's all done, some primer. You can see the wipers clear pretty good in there. That's all the way down, so it's cool. And then all white. It looks all right. Anyway, I got to do a little bit across the edge over there, a little bit under the scoop yet. But other than that, it's pretty much ready to go. So now I got to finish out this side. Got to build the bumpers. I'm going to do ahead and go with off-road bumpers. Fender needs some work still. So, anyhow, badass. Bye now.